Uh, I would like to ask you, I welcome you to ask you the questions to the participants of our session.
Probably, Mikhail, probably questions to both Peter and Goran, because this session was at last devoted to different determinants of economic developments, actually. And what are we thinking about the most important factors behind the economic performance? Because I just pointed one. I know that monetary policy is not the most important one, but what can be the most important factors driving current, before COVID-19, economic dynamics in the region? Can you hear me?
Okay, maybe Mr. Chubanov first.
Okay, of course it's not so easy to say about all this set of countries what are these, and of course from my point of view and mostly from Bulgarian point of view, it is for me that and it could be seen from the dynamics of the indicators that I presented, that in terms of for me potential growth is the most important in the case, because it gives us a potential for the medium term, and it of course depends how it is measured. But however, in terms of employment and investments, the capital and the economy, we could see that Bulgaria is lagging behind, and we have good examples in this direction. In terms of Hungary, for example, we could see that the performance in terms of employment is really very, very impressive. Also, Poland, it managed to go through the previous crisis, the global crisis, rather well, although it has a high level of budget deficit, but however, it has positive economic growth even in the crisis year, 2009, and we could see that Poland is doing rather well in this set of indicators that I'm showing. So probably the business environment and the investment in these countries are at good level, although we could see that Europe usually criticize Poland and Hungary for some features of their development, mostly from the political side. But however, we could see that in terms of economic development, these countries are a good example. And for me, although it is not so correct to say that these countries are Eurozone countries for the whole period, of course, but however, based on the measures and the indicators that I'm using, we could see that Eurozone yet gives not so much in terms of this economic, medium-term economic development to these countries, in terms of potential growth and in terms of main indicators connected with the potential growth. And we could see that Eurozone as a whole is highly indebted zone now. The public debt on average will be above 100% of GDP this year. Next year, it probably could reach, if the situation continues to worsen, it could reach 120% even. So the problem is really not so small, and the country should think about this growing debt in the future. Although the tries to mutualize the debt are in place now, but however, I didn't see this as a long-term decision. So this is from my side for a moment.
Thank you, Dr. Chubanov. And Dr. Butouras, some brief explanation?
I would like to say some I have already said, but I would like to say here on Mikhail's questions that we always can hear we must invest, we must change our economy, we must introduce new reforms and so on and so on. And I was always asking myself, who is we? Who is we? I just wanted to say that the role of the states especially in small transition economies like Southeast European economies, has been very changing, especially during the transition period. And maybe I was very interested in this subject, and that's why 5 years ago I was published a paper about the role of the states in the economy on the example of Croatia. And now let's come back to directly to answer question from Dr. Govonin. As I already said, many things depends on the dynamic of this pandemic and when we will be the end of this pandemic. But our problem, economical problem, remains the same. We must start and or in some countries continue with the implementation of structural reforms in our economy, system of justice, and the main role nowadays in our economies is Southeast European economies. The main role of the states is how to create a framework to attract new investments. What is Professor Milica Uvalic already said, not just in investments, foreign direct investments, then investments, domestic investments in our countries.
Okay. Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Buturac. Okay, then I would like to, if we don't have any other questions, don't we? Okay, then I would like to thank all the participants of my session, the second session, and definitely the guests of the conference. Personally, I liked it very much. Hope you also. And I would like to just inform you about this third session. The third session will be moderated by Dr. Miklos Sani from the Institute of World Economics, Budapest. And as for now, we expect four presentations from Dr. Dejan Jovic from Zagreb. I'm not sure if Dr. Juraj Sipko is here because he was present in the morning, but I can't see it now. I can see him now. Then Dr. Joanna Kotovic-Javor from the Warsaw, the second presentation. Dr. Goran Nikolic from Belgrade, and me, the fourth presentation, because unfortunately Dr. Bacishin from the Bratislava will address all the participants with the help of article. He decided to write an article, and then I will send it via mail his research. Sorry? Okay, I didn't hear any comment for the third session. Maybe Dr. Sipko is here because because you use maybe you used another profile in the morning and now use some hidden one. Thank you very much. I don't want to take the time, and I would like to